Begin takeoff procedure.
Hello everyone, we're back here with the top 8 match. My name is Dio Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and this round I am joined by Timbo Slice. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing very well, Dion. You kind of look like death warmed up, my friend.
I'm fine. I look, yeah, definitely, for sure. You know what? I'm here for the X-Wing community. We're making sure we're getting this done, getting the stream the right way. And
You're good people, buddy.
I try. All right, so I want to take an opportunity here, Tim, to remind anybody who's going to Worlds about the party bus.
Well, thanks. I'm happy to be on commentating for the match, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that the chat has about it, and talk a little bit about the details for sure.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and break down this matchup. My good friend Marcel Manzano, and also co-host on the podcast, has brought back to life the Triple Jump Masters.
I'm just in love with what Marcel is doing here.
Yes.
I'm here for whatever this is.
Right. So triple jumps, not quite all the same, but they have two pieces of tech that are the same on all of them. You have a snapshot, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it's a secondary weapon. If somebody executes a maneuver and lands in range 1 of you, you get to do a 2-dice attack that you cannot modify. He then has ion projector for blocking and making sure to get some ions on people and walk some of those large base ships off the board. And even small base ships. He was able to walk a Corin off the board yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. He's got Operation Specialist on 2 of them. He got Snapshot that misses a lot. So multiple focus tokens just getting spread around everywhere. That's defense and offense that he can use was primary. And a couple of rig cargo chutes and an EMP device to guarantee that ion when the ion projector misses.
It's a fantastic set of control, and the interaction between Snapshot and Operations Specialist cannot be understated as far as its efficiency. I mean, on the Rebel platform, putting it on something like an Azatuk, or hiding it inside something like a Hawk in a 3 to 4 ship Rebel list is just a great way to generate tokens. I remember I had one with an R5 P9 Biggs before the nerf, and you could literally just put the ops spec on the Hawk, and then every time anybody in the list missed, you would assign the focus to Biggs, who would use it to recharge at the end of the turn.
There you go.
It was Dirt McGirt.
So somebody here in the chat, Lord of Britannia, asked where can you get the top 16 list. We're going to be posting them on List Juggler after the match because we're a little busy right now. We do have them all though, so we'll get that to you guys ASAP.
Well, the interesting thing that I think that a lot of folks don't realize about Snapshot is that although it's an EPT slot, it technically counts as a secondary weapon.
Yep.
So, I mean, and I love the way they designed that because, if Snapshot had been just a genuine 2-point EPT, you put it on something like a Jump Master here or some of the other EPT archetype turret-based ships, and then all of a sudden this big base ship at range 1 has the Snapshot radius, and it becomes a little bit overpowered. But here I like what they did to balance it.
Has to be in the arc, and that's when Marcel and I were working on building this out and talking about how to play it. We discussed that what's going to be the difference in the game is how often can you trigger Snapshot. Is being able to manage the arcs here, and it's different than the torpedo version when we would manage arcs with that because you're trying to get away, right? Range 2 to 3, bump somebody into range 2 or 3, and then get a torpedo off. You're not doing that anymore. You're trying to bump them into range 1, and making sure that when they do that bump or that ion, that's in your range 1 arc. Get the Snapshot off.
Well, my phone is reminding me here, Dion, that your beloved fans north of the border in Canada are all tuning in and watching tentatively. So big shout out to all the folks back in Toronto.
Awesome. So we're
Tristan Singleton, by the way, is come down with us this weekend.
Okay, he's a Canadian.
He is a Canadian. He's from Kitchener-Waterloo, which was of course founded as New Berlin, Ontario. Has one of the best Oktoberfests outside of Germany. And he is a member of the Grand River X-Wing League community, who are known for a combination of their competitive top-tier members and their extremely fun, janky alternate format tournaments that they do out there. His nickname, of course, is Bubble Boy. He, for a long time, would come to competitive events and just surf the bubble like a wave. And he's done a lot of really amazing results with some lists that would just blow your mind. At Toronto Regionals, he brought 4 TLT Y-Wings with title and flight assist astromech. He cut every Nim Miranda he showed up at, just cut them to pieces. It was gorgeous. And then he won the PTL Open in 2017 with 2 bandits, 2 rookie pilots, one of which, of course, had a seismic torpedo on them, and then a stress bot Y-Wing.
Yep. All right, so looking at Marcel's setup here, this is very similar to a setup you used to see him do a lot in the torpedo version, except for the fact that because he is trying to leverage snapshot, usually that silver jump master that you see there would be facing in.
I just noticed that as well.
But what he's doing here is he's going to be breaking out in kind of like a net formation here, and because he does have to move first, he'll probably do something like a bank 1 with the silver one to the right, a bank 1 with the blue, and a straight maneuver with the red. Just kind of fan out, all right, where is this guy going to be setting up? And then break in.
Yeah, I mean, map control is going to be Marcel's best play here. He has 2 things working for him. He can take a couple of harpoon missiles.
Yep.
Particularly from Justero and possibly from Nim, because they can't reload like Tirani can. But if he's not trading a jump master for a scum ace in this situation, he's going to be hard up to make it in the late game. Yeah, no, I mean, if he can cover an inordinate amount of distance with those big base moves and barrel rolls and things, so he can definitely use the snapshot abilities to try and set things up here.
And then looking at a couple of the other possibilities, because Nim and Tirani do only have 1 agility, and there's no region in this list, it's also to the advantage of Marcel, because now these 2-die turrets, 3 dice in range 1, can actually do some damage. That was some of the issues that he was having yesterday with some of the lists that he was playing against. You had high agility ships with like auto thrusters and things like that. They were hard to hit.
No doubt they're hard to hit. It's interesting because on the one hand, the jump masters have an easier time hitting a 1 agility ship. Unfortunately, the only thing that will play against Marcel for that exact thing is one aspect of the synergy of his list is under the assumption that he's going to miss to generate those focus tokens.
Yes.
So if he's shooting at these 1 agility ships, it's kind of like the double-edged sword of Gunner sometimes. Yep. If you're shooting at 1 agility ships with Gunner and you're like, oh, darn, I did do a shield damage. Drat.
I'm sad? Why am I sad?
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to sit next to you, bud. I mean, we've been listening to your content back in Toronto for quite a while now, and to come down here and get the kind of warm reception that the Canadians did when we came to Michigan for this tournament was really nice.
Yeah, you guys do great work with your PTL series and all that stuff. You guys do awesome stuff as well. So I'm looking forward to making it up to Toronto at some point. I just got to make sure my passport gets renewed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Not miss Canadian Nationals like I did last time.
That's helpful.
A huge thank you to Mary Winter for subscribing to Twitch Prime. You are awesome. Thank you.
Interesting. So we're seeing the makings of Marcel's wide net. He's starting. Oh yeah, he's going even wider here. Interesting.
He wants to catch. I mean, Nim is 41 points. He wants to catch Nim. And here's one thing you got to remember: if you ionize Nim, he can't do any bombs.
Well, he can do the Genius bomb, but he's got to spend the EM token to do it. And
exactly.
It's. I mean, since the Genius errata to try and balance it out, that is an interesting and very time-sensitive decision that you need to make in a match. If you burn your EM token on Genius too soon, and then you get that opportunity to finish a guy off in the late game, and it doesn't happen, you know, you can end up getting really sad. The other thing to remember too is Nim doesn't have unlimited bombs.
Right. Exactly.
Right. He literally only has 2 thermals, and the scouts aren't mind linked, so it's not like if you stress one of them, you stress all of them. Right.
Right. So we're checking for the target lock. It's going to be just out. I mean, I'm looking for here a very classic 3-bank barrel roll from the Red Jump Master.
I would definitely put him in a good spot. I mean, the interesting thing about Tristan's list that we saw in the last match is there's so many mechanics in play that can trigger Justero's ability. And all that has to happen is that he needs to line them up, and if that Kirax fighter is indeed in a position to fire twice, that could be, you know, half healths on a jump master and 15, 16 points right off the hop. So Tristan definitely seeing the wide net play and lining up all the options in the world for his trajectory simulator. If you hear what sounds like somebody dying a horrible coughing death in the background, folks, don't be alarmed. Our intrepid host here is unbelievably muscled through the entire weekend.
This
like
is
a
fine.
Champion.
This is fine. We're up and running.
The room is on fire around him. This is fine.
All right. Are we just in range 3?
It looks like there's tips and tips there. I don't think he has a target lock on the guy, though. We're just going to take range 3 shots here.
Yep. So Marcel does have 3 dice in focus. So here it comes. First shots of the game.
Kudos on the overlay upgrade. Much clearer this weekend.
Thank you.
Some of the other contents you've clearly been working on it, eh?
Been putting in a lot of work. A lot of work. All right. No other shots from Tristan. Here comes Marcel into Nim from the Blue Jump Master. He's hoping to maybe sneak in at least a shield here. It'd be nice.
Wouldn't be the worst thing. Got nothing. No range from the red guy. We got range. We might have range from silver. I doubt it, but looks like blue is best hopes here.
Oh, that's hit crit.
Bingo.
Oh, 2 shields early.
Heartbreak. No, you're right. I mean, target priority-wise, Marcel trades the Jump Master for Nim. He's laughing because then Tirani and Justero have a lot of work to do against the other guys.
Yep. But one thing we have to remember also is that Tristan's ships don't give up half points.
No, it's very true.
So even if we end up in an end game where you got two scouts up, and let's say if Nim is alive, it's fine.
Yeah, if Tirani goes into the late game against 2 half-health scouts, I reckon he wins that one because so if he kills one of the 2 33-point guys and halves the other 2, Tirani could take that points, but Justero couldn't take 2 of them while they're alive.
Right.
Now, interestingly enough, that 3-bank barrel roll might catch Nim in a snapshot.
Yep.
And the blue one, if a blue one was to do a 3-bank barrel roll, I don't even think you get to go that far. You probably just do a 2, still catch the snapshot there.
Yep. I mean, Marcel's definitely going to be thinking about the trajectory sim.
There's not much you can do to avoid it.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. He just has
At least it's not a proton bomb.
This is very true. Very true.
Interestingly, though, I mean, like, this is one of the things that you can attest Tristan's success over the weekend to. I mean, his list, none of the 3 ships are greedy. Like,
yep.
He's been extremely frugal in the loadouts of all 3 of them to try and give everybody some teeth and still not overload somebody. It's not like a 50-point Nim. It's not.
Yep.
I mean, 26, 27 points is a pretty standard Justero, either crack shot or I do like Predator because it triggers on both attacks if you do have the opportunity. But Deadeye's free, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Free is good.
Love the backside title. It's glorious. How did you get to town? Did you fly from Chicago?
I drove.
Oh, okay.
I drove the 4 hours. I'll be driving back. Marcel and I drove up together. So
That's
hopefully we are blessed with the traveling mercies and get home safe. But it's gonna be late for sure.
Well, it sounds like Snowmageddon on the East Coast, so we're probably good going in the opposite direction.
All right, here's the 3-bank from the Red Jump Master.
It's almost like you know this guy, Marcel. Have you 2 played together before? Or,
oh, yeah. No. Who's this guy? Now, he can... the barrel roll to the right might not actually catch Tirani, but it probably gets Justero if it fits.
Just going to verify the fastest possible maneuver for a Caligula fighter. It's a 3 straight.
I think they have 4... Oh, they can't even go. All right. Yep, 3 straight.
It has a 4K, and it's 1 and 2 turns are red.
So he might have just arc dodged the chemo, or clip him with that top corner. It's hard to tell.
It's kind of one of the unfortunate things about Snapshot. Like they saw this EPT, but we have to make it so that it's somewhat balanced. So you can't use it out of arc because it's a secondary weapon, and then it doesn't count if you bump.
Exactly.
I gotta say, Marcel, all the if you're watching this after the fact, mate, kudos, because holding on to the Jump Masters with these fingernail type amazing loadouts on them and making a top cut at a regional is very impressive.
Yep. Yeah, we waffled back and forth he waffled back and forth about whether he was going to actually even do it or not. Too hard. We're going to see a barrel roll towards Nim.
There's a lot of back and forth discussion I find about the advantages and disadvantages between anti-pursuit lasers versus ion projectors. And on something like a jump, I cannot say how much more I vote for ion projectors.
It's so good.
Especially when you've got that big base barrel roll, just nabbing one of those little small base ships, and you're ionized, boom.
Yeah, and even just one turn of knowing where your opponent is exactly where they're going to be makes a world of a difference.
Yeah.
Absolute world of a difference.
No, it's definitely a little bit of a perfect storm as terms of a matchup for Tristan's list. Unquestionably here, he's got 3 big small base ships that are vulnerable to the iron projectors. And he does have some offensive capabilities, but he may not get to use them. And what's most interesting, of course, is he doesn't have a turret on Nim to combat the turrets that the jumps have. I wonder what Marcel's
he's debating his action.
Okay.
Whether or not a barrel roll would benefit him here or not.
It would be interesting if Nim bumps straight. Would the white jump master have a snapshot on him?
Yep. And I think the other thing he's thinking about is his positioning for the next turn, whether silver is in the best spot or not.
Okay, so the op specs are on which, white and blue?
That's actually something we should probably find out.
It's relevant because one of the misunderstandings of op spec that happens is that when the ship is any ship within range 2 of a ship carrying an op spec misses, it's any ship within range 1 to 3 of the ship that attacked that actually gets the focus token, not necessarily just the op spec ship, right? So yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Oh, right, wicked, thanks. I'll use the opportunity just to remind some of Duel's listeners. One of the things that we were featuring down here is that anybody within Michigan or upstate New York or the Indianapolis, Columbus area who is interested in going to Worlds, the Prototype Toronto League's putting together a transport and hotel package that's going to come right across this area. So we'd be more than happy to pick up some things. We got some action happening here. So Justero's bumped, no ion projector. Lucky go on that one. Looks like Tirani's going to trigger a snapshot here. He's doing a leisurely one bank to try and probably get what looks like a harpoon missile on the white jump master because he's probably too close. So Marcel's probably going to get 2 snapshots here. He's going to do the red one first, 1 hit. Tirani rolls his die. Tirani rolls his die. Tirani rolls his die. I'm never going to let Tristan forget that one. Don't worry, folks. Looks like an evade to me. So Ops Specialist will trigger because I would reckon that they're all within range of each other. Yep. So Blue's going to take a focus. Blue is considering his snapshot here because Tirani's landed in range of both of these ships at range 1.
Here's the second snapshot.
Welcome back. Blue.
Blank.
Yeah, so red.
Blank hit.
Yep. So 1 snapshot missed. Triggered op spec.
Dice fell out the box. What was it? Mystery. We'll never know.
We'll never know. And then red. Nope, looks like a hit there. Yep. Okay. Red jump master also missed his ion projector. Sadly, Justero is alive. And I would reckon that Justero has arc on a couple of those jump masters down there.
Oh, yeah. So here comes Nim. When I did walk over there, I did hear Tristan say, I forgot about ion projector.
That sucks. Interestingly enough, Tirani didn't take an action, or did he? I don't see any tokens or anything like that.
No EMP.
So EMP, oh, no ion projector, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, ion projector. I said EMP.
It's all good. Which one's the Intel agent one? Do we know?
So Intel is blue.
Wonderful. Right in the middle.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and mark these so we know which one is which by changing the name.
Beauty. We'll call it blue boat, red boat, white boat.
Blue.
All right, so Nim has bumped. Didn't Trajectory Simulator, probably because he's worried about hitting Tirani. Marcel checking for the white snapshot. Looks like range 2. No dice. Unless you're going to mark blue and get it out of there. Only way to test that for sure is to move blue. I think they're ruling it out of range. No worries. Okay, so we've got Nim having bumped, taking no action. Rough rolls on the ion projectors. No ionizations. And it looks like the Enforcer title is going to trigger for... No, actually, that's right. Tirani doesn't have the Enforcer title, does he?
Nope. No title, just his normal ability.
Right, so the Bullseye firing arc is active for both of the shots of blue and white. As a reminder to our viewers, the Bullseye firing arc is a secondary arc at the middle of the small base ship. At the bottom, when attacking, if the defender is inside the Bullseye firing arc, the defender cannot spend focus or evade tokens to modify their dice. Or, sorry, they cannot spend focus tokens to modify defense dice or evade tokens to add evade results. Yeah.
So no defensive mods, token-wise, except for reinforcement. So here is range 1 into blue, we're assuming.
I would say so, yeah. Tirani shoots first. Looks like 3 damage. Now Tirani's ability will trigger after Tirani's performed an attack. Each enemy ship inside his Bullseye firing arc at range 1 to 3, so both the jump masters either remove all their tokens or suffer 1 damage. And as a clarification, we are operating under the FAQ that you may remove 0 tokens.
Correct.
Wonderful.
So it's 2 shields off the blue jump, because he did throw an evade. And he is removing the token rather than taking damage.
Wise call. He can do his domino op spec effect when it's his turn to shoot, right?
Yep.
Plus, if he takes a damage from the Bullseye firing arc, that triggers Justero. Or would it?
It does. I think it does. He just asked.
It's true after you perform an attack.
Right. That was the argument we were having earlier on the last game.
Yeah, something like a ship suffering a harpoon damage condition can go into argument because you're about timing, but no, it clearly says after attack, so yeah, that would definitely trigger Justero. Yeah, so I was in the middle of talking about folks being able to jump on in Detroit before we went into combat, but I'll wait for planning phase to talk about it because Marcel still have his shots.
Yep, we're waiting for Nim.
Nim's just deciding. I'm thinking he's probably going to take a range 2 on the red one.
Yep, that's going to be a miss.
Big fat nothing.
Justero going at the blue. Gets a focus fire. Range 2.
Because in X-Wing, it's good to shoot at the same ship.
That's how the game works.
Oh.
And 1. And no actions. Did you know that not having actions hurts?
Especially when you roll good.
Yep, there's the evade. So only losing 2 shields there is definitely on the winning side for Marcel. We're waiting to see what the damage here is going to be.
Interestingly enough, I mean, he started shooting at Nim. He has 2 shots on Nim or 3 shots on Tirani. Both of them have 1 agility. Which ship would you shoot at, Dion?
I mean, I go on Tirani here. All 3 ships. All 3 ships. You can get them down to maybe 2-3 hull.
Yeah.
Here's range 1. 2 crits.
And Tirani only has 1 shield. That could really hurt here. If he rolls an evade, which he doesn't, that's a shield and a crit
Shield
in the
and a
hull.
crit.
First go. Crit is coming up. Damage sensor array. No actions except actions on the damage cards.
Alrighty. So that means no Deadeye until he clears that, because you can't get a focus.
I would agree.
I'm sorry, that's not Deadeye. I'm thinking about Justero. No target locks, no harpoons. Here we go. 2 focuses. That's going to be a miss.
Triggers op spec.
And that's going to give it to the blue one, who hasn't shot yet, because that was the silver one that shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all in op spec. Right?
And he just triggered the EMP device.
So how are all 3 of them? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It's very kind of Marcel bringing that many ion tokens.
Yes.
Just to be courteous to his opponent. Did you not bring enough ion tokens? No worries, bro. I got you covered.
So that's instead of attacking, triggering EMP device. So now he knows exactly where Nim and Justero are going to be going. I'm guessing that blue jump master is going to be doing a hard one to the left, a.k.a. not moving.
Well, I mean, Marcel's got the dream here, right? He can sloop red one right after intelling Justero, because he's the only one that he needs to know where Justero's going.
Exactly.
He can he could leave the blue one there and just continue to ionize the two PS10s there. And then he could even take the white one on like a 2-bank right or a 3-bank right and just isolate Justero and try and pop him. The only thing he's looking at taking maybe is an unmodded shot from Nim at range maybe 2, possibly even 3, depending on how far he goes.
Yep.
It seems like Marcel's got this game well in hand.
I mean, he definitely has control of it. It just depends on what Tristan can do with Justero, I think, this turn. If he can dig in some meaningful damage into a Jumpmaster, I know it seems unlikely, but the red one is in kind of an awkward spot, to be honest. So it looks like he's choosing to shimmy forward rather than doing the hard one to not move at all. Possibly, what that does that cuts off one of the larger banks in turns.
Well, don't forget that the EMP device EMPs himself as well, so he was ionized.
Oh, he was ionized as well. You're right.
Yeah. He doesn't move far, though. He's still got his... he's still got all his fun stuff in effect, right? He's going to double ion. He's going to get 2 ion projector rolls as well. Looks like that jumps 2 sloop clears. He'll take stress from the cloud.
Yep. And the question here is if that arcs in, he's going to be able to snapshot when Tarani does his maneuver from...
You're absolutely right. If that's an arc, yeah. I think that was an arc, though. Looks pretty good. No damage from the cloud. And depending on Justero, I mean, Justero to leisurely 1 bank.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, Tarani's about to board the pain train right now. You know, it's funny. Tristan came up against a couple of matchups yesterday where his list was just like hot piss through snow.
Just well.
And I think that this matchup here is very similar for his. He's got big base ships that can get shut down his range control and isolate his thing. Oh, interesting. So we got Contraband Cybernetics, which is a new card from the Guns for Hire pack.
Yep.
So at the beginning of the activation phase, when it's Justero's turn to go, he takes a stress token, and then for that turn, he can do red maneuvers and actions while he's stressed. So he's actually supposed to be double stressed now from a K turn.
Yep.
And it looks like Justero might take a focus token and possibly use his harpoon missile here. Excellent move on Tristan's part. Of course, he's dodged all of the snapshot arcs from the jumps there.
There's the Cybernetics. It's that card, if you guys are not familiar with it.
Any idea who the character on the card is? I've been
wondering. No idea.
It's
some droid. It looks like one of those. It looks like from the Clone Wars, honestly.
Something. I'm wondering if it's one of the characters in the game, because like Atani Mindlink is Manaru, for example, but nobody ever knew it, right?
Exactly. So here is that was a snapshot from Tarani that misses, so he's going to assign some focus tokens here.
So red snapshot and
you have 2 operation specialists, so 2 of them are going to get focuses.
True, yeah, double focus, and white has a snapshot here as well, unless he's saving it for Nim. Yeah, the double op spec is crazy. A couple guys back in Toronto, I'm familiar with the list called Rush Hour. Similar.
I am not.
It's 5 TIE bombers. They have Tactician, and 2 of them have op specs, and it's just similar synergetic concept. Okay.
So
unfortunately, they're having a few seconds. They have to prioritize and choose in which order they're doing all of the bonus janky effects that the Jump Masters do.
So this is the...
Did we do the snapshots first, or the eye projectors first, or snapshot
Here's
from
a snapshot.
White? Yeah. They're just putting the second op spec token on. So the second snapshot's rolling. Looks like it's going to miss. That's going to double op spec again.
Yep. So I would give 1 to the silver because you're going to need to defend against Nim. There you go. So now all of them have a focus.
It's fantastic defensive mods. It allows you to isolate or essentially eliminate the need for pilot skill, because your guys will have defensive tokens when the high PSs shoot.
We're finishing this ion projector. Does not hit. And here's Nim's ion. Nim is ioned.
Okay. So no more EMP device, but Nim's ioned, which means Tirani's going to be able to get out of there if he doesn't die to red and white shooting at him right now.
Correct. He's going to have 2 range 1 shots with focus coming in at him.
Okay, Tirani's going to do his range 1 on the silver, which is not the one that was shot at last time.
Yep, this one's clean.
And rolls hot fire.
There you go.
So 4 shields. Yeah. Okay, so shields down on silver. And I'm not sure. Nim can shoot silver as well because he's bumped on blue. Yeah.
So he has to either ditch the focus or
ditch all the focus tokens on blue and silver, or take damages and possibly trigger Justero here because Justero has blue. Oh no, Marcel already saw that and lost tokens.
He lost the token on the blue one. He's debating on the silver one.
Do I give up half points on one jump master, or do I keep my focus tokens? Because I need a defensive token for Nim's shot, and then I need an offensive token as well. Personally, I'd lose the tokens here. You've got op spec to domino effect again when your combat phase activation comes around.
I think that's the right choice here. Spend it now. You might get it back later.
He's taking the damage card.
Okay. Well, he's trying to make sure he has mods on his shot.
No,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. We'll see if it works out.
So we've got, what is that, 15 points on the board for Tristan?
16.
16. Attaboy, Tristan. Heartbreak from Nim.
All right, so silver does not evade it, so he's going to take one more.
Goes through. Tristan's not complaining about the results. It could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Somebody here, Red Arc, yes, Nim can still use Trajectory Simulator. He just can't do a reveal bomb, so he can't drop it where he is right now. He'd have to launch it.
Yeah.
As they clarified, right? Hold on. Can you?
So Trajectory Simulator, and the only thing that will allow Nim to use his bombs while he's ionized is Genius, because Trajectory Simulators say you may launch bombs
so after
instead of dropping bombs.
But if he bumps, which he's going to.
But you can't drop a thermal detonator or launch a thermal detonator because it says when you reveal your maneuver.
Right.
And you don't reveal a dial when you're ionized.
Right. Okay, yeah, so no bombs.
Nim will probably stay where he is, and then Genius won't let him drop a bomb until they get him off of him. He's exceptionally well played by Marcel here. He's really judged the situation appropriately. You know what, I got to get in there. I got to take my licks from these guys at range 1 and come out of it with 2 jump masters. Trade 1 for Nim, go into the late game.
All right, so we're checking to see if this is range 1 in arc.
It's an interesting judge call. Oh, Justero bumped a bit. We're ruling it range 2.
Now it's out of arc. You can't shoot him at all.
Oh, heartbreak. So this funny-looking crit token next to Tirani, by the way, is one of the PTL bits of swag. It's Tristan's Ontario's finest. There we go.
Oh, you gotta love it.
All right. Well, to be fair, this is round 8 after 2 days, and
both these guys stood out last night.
Oh, I know. I was there. It was good stuff.
I was not. I was curled up in a bed.
Well, that's good, man. That's what you need.
That's right.
Hot soup. All right. So we've got the jump. Okay. So that's the harpoon.
2 evades.
And the harpoon condition.
And that was off of blue.
Yeah. Not an ideal roll for a Justero. Did Justero mod a focus result?
It was a blank. Oh, I think he did.
He could have maxed damage.
He
could
have maxed damage. He didn't see it.
It's a shame.
Maybe he was thinking to keep it.
I mean, Justero's harpoon missile might be just to get the harpoon condition in there. Okay, so 2 damage. It looks like.
Let's see who we. It's a 1 agility ship.
So it's definitely one of the 2 of them. Okay. White is shooting Tirani. I think
so
that was on Tirani as well.
Okay, so Tirani took.
No, I think they're shooting at Nim.
So Tirani's sitting at 1 hull.
Bupkis. So keeping those focus tokens, unfortunately, didn't end up being the right call in the long run. Okay, so we've finished the turn up, and we've got Tirani limping around on 1 hull. We'll be in a position to try a 4K. Don't know if it's going to fit.
Yep. A note here, somebody from the chat said I guess he had 2 blanks. Maybe we saw that.
Yeah.
Maybe when he was flipping it might have just showed up as a focus the first time.
I'm seeing a little sideways today, my friend.
It's all right. Me too.
8 rounds of X-Wing will do that to you.
So we know that Nim is ionized, so most likely ends up getting blocked here. I think one thing, usually Marcel will either, I mean, when he had a Tani with the silver one, silver would run. But now the priority is going to be to make sure that nobody can get a shot on silver. So he's going to try to remove blue from the area. He might even be willing to just do the 4K, just to get it out. Or the sloop, I don't think the sloop fits. It might slip to the right.
It's so interesting here because Marcel has the option to either swap out one of his jumps or keep them 1 in there.
Right.
Right? Because if he, I mean, a 2 sloop left on the red one is a fair call. Justero's not getting actions this turn because he's got to do a green.
Yep.
If you 1 forward with blue, or sorry, if you 1 forward with silver, it can stay put and possibly catch Nim again when he does his 1 forward ionization move.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing, and we don't know if the nubs are in play on Tirani, because if the nubs are in play, that 4K fits.
Right.
Because it's 2 big base ships, right?
Yeah. Well, there's also a debris back there too. Yeah, it depends on the nubs for sure. Tirani isn't quite flush. Oh, it's so close. It'll be close.
If Tirani doesn't get out there, he could, or doesn't. Sorry, excuse me. If Tirani doesn't get out of there, he could very easily die to a snapshot before the combat phase.
Right. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people. So one thing we talked about on our show one time is that the 2 straight is almost equal to a large base. It's just a little bit short, not by much, but it's just a little bit short, which is why you can't 2K around a large base ship.
Mm-hmm.
So the 4, probably even if you're flush, doesn't fit.
Well, it's probably something that it's always bugged me the most if I go to like a casual GNK on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like I reveal a 2 straight or a 2K and there's a big base ship in front of me and it's like, okay, well let's mark it and try. It's like that's just something that you learn from experience.
Yeah.
And learn maybe playing a little bit on Vassal is that just to your point, the microns don't line up and it doesn't clear.
Yep.
And just minute little shifts and stuff like that when you're operating on the tabletop can sometimes
make the difference.
Yeah.
Because if you mark everything and when you go to put the template and you slightly scoot the ship forward,
even just like the width of a piece of rice or something.
Yeah. And then you put the template, but it's not quite all the way in, and you get to the other side. And you just put it as lightly as you can to be considered in the nubs. Oh, look, I made it.
And there's a very strict no cheating policy on Ghostwatcher.
Correct. We're very, very strict on that.
So far, so good. What are we, 6 days without an incident?
Without a major incident. There's been tiny ones. There's always tiny ones. I mean, we play this game all the time. And if you had a camera on every single table, you would see a quote-unquote cheat on everyone. Like, it happens.
Yeah, it's so dangerous to categorize stuff as cheating, especially in a game with this many moving parts.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I can't imagine how strict Warhammer players are sometimes, but having like 6,000 pieces on a board sometimes, there's no way you could possibly remember all this stuff, right?
No, you cannot. This is the Michigan Regional, D Monkey 225.
Yeah, last year it was in Wixom. This year it's in Canton. And the folks in the Michigan-Detroit area I have to say, I've put on an absolutely top tier event. The event space in the room here was magnificent. I played 4 of my 6 games yesterday on an end of a table. So, like, for example, I was on Facebook last night and I saw a photo from an event in Spain.
Yes.
A 200-person, their first non-official open, and a 200-plus person event. Every single table in this massive gymnasium were sets of 2 tables with space in between them and chairs so that people could actually get around
Walk
the edges
around.
of a
That's
table.
nice.
I mean, that's clearly somebody who's been to an event where you cram 10 tables in a row in a line. It's great you get everybody in the building, but after 6 rounds, your knees are just hating your...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have the space, use it, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, what do you think your man's going to do here, bud?
So I would try to get the silver Jumpmaster in the spot where the blue one is to take away shots from both Tarani and Nim. Because you don't want to take another range 1 shot from... but you know what? Crap. I think the silver one's just going to die. He might sack it.
Trading a Jumpmaster for Tarani is not a bad trade.
It's not a bad trade, but I'm trying to think, is there a way to save silver? Tarani can do the 4K. If you have the silver one where the blue one is... I'm sure Marcel's wishing that... I could see if they swap it out. I can also see the silver Jumpmaster doing the hard one right and dropping the cargo chute as well.
That's completely valid. I mean, you've got the red one here as well that could do a leisurely 1 bank left and drop a poop chute right on Tarani before Tarani even moves, right?
Before he does the 4K.
Yeah, that would be.
So if he does the 1 hard right here, that's a green maneuver because Jumpmasters go into the left.
You got it.
And you drop the poop chute, so he has to do a 2 forward.
It's almost like you and I played this game before, mate.
So there it is. The red one does have a rigged cargo chute. And here it comes.
Yep.
So that's a forced 2 white forward, which means that if he just stacked up the ships here.
Well, I mean, Tristan has had a fair amount of matches against Jumpmasters with rigged cargo chutes here.
Ooh.
Oh, heartbreak.
He's dead, right?
Yeah, that's it. 1 in 8 chance.
Yep, and it misses the Jumpmaster. This might unlock the formation here because he doesn't have the ship in the front to bump off of.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Justero's going to be able to pull his weight in this turn. If Justero and Nim can finish off silver, they might have a chance, but the greens of the Curax fighter are not going to be friendly to Tristan's list here.
So
interesting.
Well, he was planning on bumping.
Oh, of course.
From where Tarani was, so he's gonna be double stressed here.
Very fair point. Yeah.
He rolls him twice.
That's fair.
No damage there.
Hey, if you take a crit from the cloud, would it trigger Harpoon? No.
It has to be from an attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has to be from an attack.
Okay.
And that looks like a hard one to the right, or a bank.
Yep. So he was planning on staying put and just clearing. Okay. So Nim's going to get a shot here.
Yeah, he probably drops the chute on him so he doesn't get an action, though.
Nim could actually also... Ooh, Nim could actually... If Nim's 1 forwarding here, he could genius drop a bomb, stress everybody. No, he can't.
All right, so he's going to be dropping the rig cargo chute. So at least he doesn't get an action, even if Nim does get a shot.
All the poop shoots. I was very happy when I saw the rig cargo chute mechanic introduced into the game. It's so thematic from Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, yeah.
I was just a little bit sad that it doesn't find a home specifically on...
he rolls a crit.
That is amazing.
And he's going to have to roll it again when he flies through it as well. So he's going to end up double stressed.
Tristan Singleton, oh boy, single-handedly crushing the laws of math.
Yeah.
How many times do you actually roll a crit on a vassal die?
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
So they're working. They're doing the
This is the only bad part about rig cargo shoots. Sometimes they're hard to get on the table.
Yep.
They're working together. I like it. Canada and America working in tandem.
And does it bump? I don't think it does. So
I think he's good.
So
nope, no bump.
Double stress, no bump. The one hard would have done it.
The one hard would have done it. You're absolutely right. Really interesting match that we got going here. I'm almost speechless. Interesting to see what Justero's going to do. Justero's either going to take a snapshot from silver or he's going to bump and possibly be stressed and ionized.
Yeah. Just you.
Okay, yeah.
That's a hard one. It mostly moves forward. I don't even think it turns that much, but
no, it's fine. They can just eyeball it. I was convinced he was going to do the two bank left, expecting the block anyway. There's not much he could do to avoid it.
And ion projector hits.
Wow, consistency on these jumps is still funny, eh?
Yeah. Now, one thing that Marcel may have done to himself, though, with the double cargo shoots, he is limiting the amount of space in which he can do actions. He does still have the operation specialist. One thing he has effectively done is he's at least reduced the shots into silver, but he's not going to have a focus beforehand. So this could be it with only 3 health left.
Are you aware of any of the results that Marcel's list has against some of the other top tier archetypes floating around right now?
We haven't tested it too much.
Okay.
This is the first time playing in a tournament.
Fair enough.
So we don't know.
Well, I mean, stress and ions are fantastic things to use against bombers or VCXs for that matter. Imperial Aces hate both. You know, there's a lot of really good mechanics floating around if you can keep 3 of them alive.
All right, so 3 hits in there. Looking for 2 evades. He got 1. So he's going to be alive with 1 hole left.
Unbelievable.
So Tristan here, do you think it's the right move for Tristan to disengage with Nim and see if he can come back around?
Nim's double stressed, which means that his only chance is to come back around and try and get a harpoon missile. If Tristan can disengage with Nim, trade Justero for silver and maybe a few more plinks on the red one, Nim might be able to finish the job in the late game. But, I mean, a Jump Master versus Nim trading shots at range 3, that's not a good matchup for Nim. Oh, here we've got a cascade.
Harpoon.
Yeah. Harpoon is triggered, killed silver. Red one takes the damage. Justero rolling a lucky crit there. Yes, so red has taken splash damage, and Justero gets another shot. Nim takes a splash damage as well. Yeah, absolutely. Very interesting turn of events there. This is going to allow...
I mean, Tristan's been rolling a bunch of crits, right? On debris, and now
it's just
now for the shot.
It's like his job. It's just a double-edged sword. It's true.
No, snapshot wouldn't have triggered because it wasn't in arc.
Yeah. Okay, so 1 and cleanly evaded. Interesting, though, that Justero's going to get an opportunity now to de-stress himself and dodge the debris clouds and keep the pressure on the jumps. Yeah, I think you're right, Dion. If Nim can disengage here and Justero can do some more damage before he dies, this could be a very interesting late game. Wow, what a swing in a short amount of time, eh?
Oh, yeah, one turn. One turn makes a difference.
I had Marcel way ahead just very shortly ago. Just a lucky crit, wow.
2 hits going into, I'm assuming it's Nim.
Yeah, I would shoot at Nim here, 100%. Good question. Have we got an obstruction? I think it looks pretty flush. Just grasping at straws here.
All right.
No dice for him.
So
into Hull on Nim.
We're down at 2.
Why has Nim got Hull missing? Isn't Nim 5 Hull?
Oh, you're right. I was clicking the wrong button. Oh. So he should be at 4 hull
and 1 shield.
One shield.
Zero
there
shield.
we go.
Yeah, 0 shields. Yep.
Oh, and sorry, Justero can't clear stress this turn because he's ionized.
Ah, yes, of course.
So, see, the thing, though, is the direction that Justero is, the direction he's ionized
Ideal.
is ideal, right? He's like, I still get a shot, so.
No, it's true. And Justero's at full health here. These jumps are going to need at least 2 turns to clear that Kirax fighter.
They didn't clear the harpoon condition.
Yes, the harpoon condition token has triggered and is no longer applied. I'm sure the judges will catch that before the next round, and if not, we can
remind them.
Let them know. Tristan and most of us,
he got pulled off.
Yeah. Now everybody back home, it's just like you guys. Everybody usually gets it late. I mean, there's a perfect example of the difference between doing something accidentally wrong and cheating, right?
Absolutely. Oops.
You know what? It's great to have a table mic when I'm working with somebody like yourself, because I actually hear these two players.
Yep.
And they're just going back and forth, and they're having a lively conversation about this, and they're on a top 8 table. It just goes to show about the community that's going on, right?
Absolutely. I have been a part of a couple of different types of communities, and there's nothing like X-Wing that I've seen out there. So,
Tristan pointing out that the Kirax actually doesn't have a 1 forward on its dial, and it's the dream form right now.
Yep.
A 2-4 straight would clear a stress token, but it put him right in front of that poop chute.
So there's the hard one.
Interesting if Marcel will actually barrel roll backwards here to try and get range 1 on Justero, because he's still got the op-spec domino effect, right?
He sure does. Nope, looks like he's just focusing, trying to save some health.
Fair call.
No damage on the debris. Getting some distance here and clearing a stress.
Yep, he's turning left, so he's going to net 2 stress. Right?
Yep.
So he takes 1, loses 1. So these jumps, I mean, blue's going to take some time to clear that stress. It'll be interesting to see if they can do some damage on Nim at range 3 here. If Nim did the 2 bank to his right, as I expect he did, maybe too far to get blue to get a shot, and it'll definitely be obstructed.
So there's the ion. It's white, so he's still stressed.
Times 2.
Yep.
But it is the dream for the Kirax fighter, the 1 forward.
Yeah. I did it.
One of the boys back home had this amazing list. It was, you put pulse ray shield on a bunch of Seek fighters.
There's the 2 bank you're talking about.
Yep. We're having a little bit of a misunderstanding about the timing window of dropping the bomb.
Yeah. You gonna join me? I need to find out who I'm playing next. And then our food just showed up.
Interesting.
My next round.
Okay. Well, it looks like Marcel's going to say that the dial was revealed and the timing window for dropping a bomb had expired.
I don't think that's right. Isn't it after revealing a maneuver? Isn't that how that works?
Well, the bombs work that when you reveal your maneuver, you get the bomb. I think the misunderstanding came from
when he told him to
Tristan asking if he could help with the maneuver, and then asking to, yeah. So that's just another example of, like, if you're a bomber, you should be doing your own maneuvers. But
yeah,
it's okay. Okay, so we've got Justero shooting range 3 at red, doing no damage. Focus token gone. Shooting back. And Justero rolling 2 dice to defend and cleanly evaded.
And clear.
Yeah, if it's in range 3, then op spec will trigger, because of course the silver one was an op spec, the red one's an op spec, and the blue one
is intel.
Is the intel. And we do have range 3 obstructed here from blue.
Alrighty. 2 hits.
Okay.
And
nothing for Nim.
That's going to bring him down to 2 hull.
Yeah, that's rough. Okay, so Nim's got to decide what he wants to do here. He needs at least a turn or 2 to come about, and a harpoon missile would be very handy to land onto blue, but it wouldn't kill him.
Right.
And then Nim might die from the return shots.
All right, so looking at Nim does have his 2 hull left. He needs to try to get that trajectory simulator in play here. We're probably going to see a Talon roll out of him, you think?
Yeah, I would say Talon Roll wouldn't be a bad idea, but you got to remember, too, if Marcel just YOLOs here and goes a 2-bank left, he might even get range 3 on that Talon Roll and end Nim's day right here.
That's very true. Maybe the better move might be, I guess, it's 2-bank that's green. That's a not straight maneuver
On
for
the
him.
Scourge? Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. I was thinking maybe Talon rolling left and trying to come back up this way, but I don't think he'll have enough turns to do that. If the blue one starts moving quickly.
If I was Tristan here with my Nim, I'd be doing a 3-bank to my right.
Is Nim still stressed?
Nim is not.
Somebody's saying Nim is stressed still.
Maybe there's a stress token hidden underneath his right wing that we can't see.
It's not like that model's huge or anything.
It's a big model. Yeah, no, the thermal detonator would have been really handy for here if Tristan had gotten the timing window right, I guess.
Yep.
So we've got no extra munitions spent.
I think he is stressed because he was double stressed before the debris.
Yeah.
All right. So no Talon roll here for Nim.
And it'll be interesting to see what Justero does, because if he does his 2-bank right to clear the stress. Okay.
All right, so Intel Agent looks like that's a 1 hard to the left with Justero.
He's going after the blue.
No, he's saying I'm not going to get unstressed and be able to win this game. Like, he has to take some risks and get in there.
Plan on his ability to roll crits. I don't know if that barrel roll right would fit. Interesting. Target lock from the Jump Master on Justero. Going for max damage.
Like the good old days.
Yeah, I know. Justero's still at full health.
He is.
Got a little two turns in him here. And it looks like the debris might be in play.
It's close.
Those are some very nice templates that Marcel has there.
That's the North American Championship ones.
Yeah.
All right, so no debris on that one. Clears one of the stress. He'll be getting actions the following turn.
So he's going to have a long bomb on blue here, but if he can do 1 or 2 damage, he might actually get to...
It makes a difference. The one Jump Master versus Nim and Justero, I think Tristan's looking for that end game here. Marcel's looking to get Nim down as soon as possible and see if he can have 2 Jump Masters against Justero. Just control Justero's arc forever and just whittle him down with the other Jump Master. So those are the win conditions for both players.
Looks like Tristan's ability to break the laws of math has slowed down a little bit.
There you go.
3 straight from Nim, it looks like. Clear that last stress token.
I'm trying to get some distance to not get shot this turn. There it is. It was there the whole time.
It's like I said, it's not like the model's enormous or anything. It's good, though. Okay, so it's just so many different moving parts going on here. He's got 2 different range, probably 2 obstructed shots on Justero.
Yep.
Justero going to plink away at number 2 here. Trying for the target lock, a call. You can Talon roll next turn and harpoon. No.
Looks out.
Just a hair outside of range 3.
Tristan's okay with that.
He's going to barrel roll, take a right barrel roll so that the, yeah. So he probably just doing this so that if he does a 2-turn the following turn, then there's no question that because the fastest maneuver that stress jump could do would be a 2-bank left barrel roll.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to gum that up. Okay, so Justero's going to take his shot, see what
range 2.
The dice gods have for him.
Looks like it's probably range 3. Range 3. All right.
So Tristan's going to see if Justero can actually get this jump to half health.
Ooh.
Hot fire. That a boy, Tristan.
Marcel does get 4 dice. Range 3 plus the obstruction.
Oh,
nothing.
Canada.
You're killing me.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
It's okay. shot back, misses. So he's down to 2 hole on that Jump Master?
Yeah. Oh, just garbage. Target locking, double eyeball. What has Marcel done to offend the dice gods?
Flew Jump Masters is what people will probably say.
It's a fair call, man. I have an enormous amount of disdain for the vessel.
So looking at Red is going to have to do some work here. I just don't know what it can do.
We're about ready for the late game. We're almost at the 20-minute mark, which will put us into a situation where you usually get into one-on-one.
Do you think Marcel's right call would be to do something like a 2 forward and barrel roll as far away as possible? Give Red a turn to get a little bit closer and then engage with both?
Blue's a bit of a write-off here. If Marcel can keep Blue out of range of Nim's torpedoes and Justero's shot and give Red one more turn to lay into Justero, it might be an opportunity to even the odds. But Marcel snap-dialed Blue. He could be going for a 1-turn left and try and catch Justero on the 2-bank.
It could,
which is green. I mean, Justero does a 2-bank here. He could very well clip 2 clouds. Plus, if he catches Justero in snapshot, he'd get 2 shots on him. It's a very tough call. I mean, see, if I'm Tristan here, I'm actually thinking to myself, maybe I'll do a 1 hard to my right and start picking into Red, because if I can do that, Nim can probably PS kill Blue and might have a chance, because even if he gets rid of Blue, you know, Red's still
almost
very
full.
Healthy.
Yep.
And Nim's limping along here. Tristan by no means has this game in the bag.
And looking at the score so far, Marcel has scored 32 points and Tristan has scored 49. So Tristan is in the score-wise in the driver's seat. We're going to be looking to see whether or not, what is Marcel going to do with the Blue Jump Master. I mean, you're right. He did put it down pretty quickly, and now looks like we're waiting for Justero's dial.
Marcel's just saying, "Oh, that hurt."
Yep.
I believe you, buddy. Well, it was been quite the match so far. Swings back and forth. Jesus.
This is the best kind of match where nobody gets trounced. It's just kind of this back and forth. Marcel, quote unquote, won the opening engagement, and then it swung back towards Tristan when Tarani died, and that was okay because it broke the formation and all this. It was great. It has been an absolutely wonderful match.
Great content for your stream. Unfortunately, the dark side productions guys got to stream my top 16 match, and it was definitely a little one-sided. It just got slaughtered.
All right.
Oh, what does Marcel do with Red here?
You have. There's too much debris here. I think you have to go 4 forward. You have to try to get him in as fast as possible.
You, man. Red's got to get out of that into that big open space on Marcel's side of the board here and start doing work.
Yep. This is the downside of rig cargo is you take away your own lanes, right?
Yeah, but the benefit is he's got his greens lined up. I mean, a 3-bank to his left would probably clip 2 clouds. I don't know. Red's the up spec one as well. So Red will still have the benefit of a snapshot that misses and an off spec for himself in the late game.
So he did change the dial on the blue one.
Yeah, he's going to try and catch Justero and try and trade one of his jumps for Justero. It's not a bad call. If he can trade Blue for Justero, he might have a chance in the late game. Oh, is that 2-bank going to clip? That's the question.
I think that 2-bank is right in range 1 in arc. Oh, that's a 4 forward. Okay, sorry. I thought that was Justero for a second. I was like, wait, what? No. What?
You were the chosen one.
All right, so there's the 4 forward from Red.
Oh, is he going to YOLO and barrel roll into that hole and try and ionize?
That is tempting. That would be tempting. But if he does a 2-bank, I don't think it won't hit. It'll bring him to range 1.
Just to clarify, because it's an audio medium and not a visual medium for listeners, when I say YOLO, you have to imagine like Aragorn outside the gates of Mordor, that look on his face when he looks back and goes for Frodo, and he just charges into the army.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you're YOLO.
YOLO,
and
yes.
just run at your opponent.
I'm probably going to die. If I don't, I won. If I didn't, I knew this was going to happen. So he's going for the barrel roll. I get it. It's going to give him a most likely if Justero did the 2-bank. We'll give him
get him a snapshot.
Might get him a snapshot. It might get him a range 1 shot.
Ooh,
I think
right
he's
up there.
scooting pretty far forward.
He wants his green maneuver to clear that cloud the next turn, I reckon.
Yep. That looks like a 3-bank.
Okay, interesting.
That might clip.
That might clip blue and snapshot red, which is the dream for Marcel, because then blue's alive for one more turn.
That's going to be really close. That clears.
My goodness. No touch. Okay. The question is blue getting a snapshot as well?
Yep, both snapshots go off.
2 debris cloud rolls here for Justero. No crits. No problems. That would mean that Justero has 5 stress tokens on him now.
Misses the first one.
No snapshot. Op spec triggers.
That's a stress token with a 5 on it.
Yeah, another wonderful collectible from the Grand River X-Wing League. Tristan, of course, very used to having 5 stress tokens, having a big proponent of the stress bot Y-Wing.
Okay. Is the blue 9 arc?
I think they're arguing that right this minute. Okay, so Nim is going to get a harpoon missile option here.
Yep, if he wants it. He's got a target. Does he have? He doesn't have a target lock out there right now, but he would target lock as an action.
Blue's going to get a range 3 shot on Nim as well. So does Tristan focus and try and stay alive and do some damage next turn and rely on Justero killing the blue?
Blue only has 2 hull left. I think you take the just kill it. Target lock, kill it. Hopefully with the harpoon.
Might be a waste of a harpoon missile though. You're going to need that harpoon to have a chance against red though. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If you focus, you might be able to kill blue
with primaries.
With your primary and with Justero's follow-up shot. That's a risky.
Yeah, I
think Tristan's thinking about that very thing right now. Do I want to use my harpoon missile, or do I want to save it for red? It's a tough call. To mention the fact, what would be even worse is if he harpoons blue, and then when he kills blue, he would damage Justero.
That's right.
I mean, one more damage into red might not be a bad call, but is it worth a damage on Justero at this point? Justero's still sitting at full health.
He is.
You also take away the shields, so I don't know.
We got 15 minutes left in the round.
Yeah, so Tristan's taking this opportunity as a high PS ship now to take measure of the late game. So he's asking about points, double-checking that everything's been spent. Great.
He's opting for the barrel roll.
I don't understand that decision, but you know what? Tristan is well practiced with the list, so
well, maybe he wasn't an arc. I mean, the angle might have just been out.
Very, very fair.
I think that's the only reason why you do that, because I mean, range. One thing that like mathing wise, an extra die is worse than taking a focus. You always want a token is always better than an extra die, unless you're in a situation where like I have to do this to win the game.
Yeah.
Or I lose.
Like Aragorn Yoil.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're just looking for range 2 or 3. Does the template maneuver of 2 fit between the 2 of them? It does not. Looks like just an absolute
just range 3.
Marcel just realizing he missed a snapshot with blue, but that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to see if the dice gods continue to keep these jump masters alive.
All right, 3 dice, unmodified. There's at least 1 hit in there.
I hear a die bouncing all over the floor.
So that was the floor.
All right, jump master rolling 3 dice with focus, trying to stay alive here.
And that'll do it. Yep. No damage there.
Spending the focus.
I got 4 unmodified dice here. Math says 2 hits, but up to 4, of course.
Of course, because they double aspects. They both had 2 focus tokens.
Yep.
Bonkers. Justero, seeing how he does. Yeah, I couldn't do it couldn't do it twice in a row. All right.
And he's going to spend that focus all day.
And he's still got his op spec domino thing here, so. Yeah, you rolled three dice. You rolled three dice there, buddy. That was range 3. Okay, so we're going to see red and blue take their shots. Interesting, though, because if red shoots and hits Justero, he will not trigger op spec for blue to shoot at Nim.
Right.
Red has no range to Nim.
So, yep.
Did they just say that he does have range? I'm shocked if that's range.
No, this is on Justero.
It's on Justero. Okay.
They say yes, it was obstructed.
Okay. Yeah, because the little nub of the debris cloud is sticking out there. All right, cleanly evaded. That is one resilient K-Rax fighter.
All right, the blue gets a focus. Does he go at Nim?
Yeah. I think
that's the right call.
I think you got to shoot Nim here. If Nim blanks, you win. One crit. If it's a direct hit, that could be sorrow for Mr. Nim here.
One die. Here it comes.
Oh, 2. It's not going to kill.
Oh, that's a crit coming in. Shaken Pilot. He cannot go straight next turn.
Interesting. I don't know if he was planning on going straight anyway. I mean, blue's coming in for that snapshot block on Nim. I think that might have been the game there, Dion.
Yeah. Nim being at 1 hole, a full jump master, 33 worth more than Captain Justero, and Marcel. If he can get into, he gets 1 block and the game's over. Pretty much, he can just block him forever.
It's true.
Pretty much, gets to see a dial. Which one is the one that's full health? I guess the full health one is Red Specialist. So he's gonna get to see Justero's dial this turn.
Yes, because we know that Nim is at range 3.
Yep, blue is not stressed anymore, so he will be able to do stuff. Red will be stressed.
Well, before the match wraps up, Dion, I just wanted to let anybody know if there are any people in the anywhere between basically upstate New York and Chicago who are interested in going to the World Championships this year. There's a Facebook event that they can reach out and for more information on. It's just search FFG 2018 Party Bus in the search bar of Facebook, or reach out to Dion or myself or anybody, and
we'll get you guys connected.
Yeah, you're looking. We're looking at around between like a max, if we don't fill anything out, like 500 American.
Yeah, but with the hotel stays, like the between, right? Because you're making 1 stop.
Yeah, it's like all in.
It's everything.
All your hotels, all your travel, all the swag, and some good times on the bus, some libations. So yeah,
libations. I like it.
It's gonna be a great time. I've never been to Worlds myself. I'm looking forward to my first go.
It's a great time. It's a great time. I don't have a ticket yet, but I'll be there no matter what because that's what I do because I'm crazy, but whatever. It's fine. We'll have a good time.
This has been an absolute nail-biter.
That's close. I got 9 minutes left. According to our clock, I'm going to actually go double-check to see how accurate our clock is.
Let me do it. I got to grab my hoodie anyway.
Okay, great. So Tim's going to go double-check that clock to see where we are at. Looks like we're changing that dial on the red one, trying to see what's the best option here. He's going to be stressed no matter what. He wants to get in a position where he can try to either block Nim and have at least one to two shots on Nim with the jump masters if he doesn't lose blue. Where are we at on the clock?
The clock actually reads 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we're a few minutes behind, but
we'll go ahead and correct that now.
You can probably set it to 5 at this point.
Yep.
Makes things very interesting. If Nim lives, Tristan wins on points. Nim living is very unlikely at this point.
Alrighty. So
yeah, a snapshot could win the game for
Marcel's got to be aware of the clock though, because if we're at under 4 minutes, he's only going to have a turn or two. So he's taken.
I would like to point out the very real possibility of simultaneously on weekend the cards Snapshot and Black Market Slicer tools winning games for you on your stream.
All right, Justero's dial is down. We're waiting for Nim.
Yeah, critical turn here. Got to make sure you're calling it right. Red could go one forward and just lay into Justero. Blue could one turn left into Justero, keep him there, and take a range 3 pot shot on him and even possibly kill him.
Yep. Yeah. The other way that this can go is if Marcel doesn't trigger a snapshot, we know that Red's not going to have any mods. If Tristan kills Blue and Red misses, that's the game. And the clock's still running. We might only get one more turn in.
Thank you very much once again for having me on, and
of course,
enjoying some playful banter back and forth. It's been
it's been a lot of fun.
It's been good. What's your viewership been like this weekend? What'd you peak out at?
Honestly, I don't even worry about it.
Good. No, it's good.
I'm just here to provide the content. I look at it afterwards, but during it's a distraction. I find it to be a distraction during the stream.
No, that's fair.
So I try not to look at it. So we intel that dial. It looks like a 4K, or the 5K, excuse me, would be for the Kirax. And is Blue at one hole? They're saying that Blue is at one hole. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. You're right. Blue is at one hole. Let's go ahead and update that.
Interesting. Blue bugging out. Okay. We're going to see a barrel roll backwards here. Maybe see, yeah, that's a very, very well thought out move by Marcel. If he barrel rolls backwards here with Blue, we'll get behind him and finish him off for sure.
Yep. Because I really doubt Tristan did a talon roll.
Yeah, if Tristan did a 2 right turn, which is what I'm expecting, Tristan probably saw the block coming. He was going for...
All right, they got to... Marcel, I mean, strategically right now, as a teammate of Marcel is using way too much time to think right now. With only 2 minutes left.
You want another round after this?
He wants another one. He should have one more.
Yeah.
And with combat, he might not get it.
Judges are closing the door. Apparently our voices. Okay. So he's going around to try and stop Justero. Wow. Okay. So Justero's 1 turn left might actually still fit. Like a 2 turn left.
I think it was the 5K, wasn't it? What it was on the dial there? Unless it was the 1 turn.
Well, no. Justero can't 5K. He's got 5 stress tokens.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, that's what the Kirax has got, that nifty white 1 hard turn. It's handy. Okay. Nothing from the debris cloud there.
All right, so Justero bumps. Must have been some type of straight maneuver. Ioned. That was a 1 bank.
Okay. And he is ionized.
So he knows where Justero's going to be next turn. You guys.
It's going to be interesting to see what Nim did here. I'm on bated breath waiting to see.
Yep.
If Nim can kill Blue and live from Red's shot. Oh, my goodness.
Trajectory simulator.
Trajectory simulator. What a great game that was. I mean, why not? You haven't been able to all game.
Yep.
At least get 1 in, right? Yep. Marcel just conceding that the bomb hits him.
Yep.
Takes the damage.
I think Marcel just realized the time. That's why he did that. He just realized the time. And if he's done the math, he could lose this game.
It's a shame, too, because if Justero hadn't bumped, that bomb would have been very handy. Justero would have got a bonus shot. Okay,
well,
so will Nim be able to barrel roll out of range? I don't think so. I think that the barrel roll left as far back as possible will dodge Blue, but not Red.
All right, well, time's up.
Absolutely.
And this
excellently played by both players here, regardless of how this turn goes.
Yep. So we're gonna see how this turns out. I think you're right that the barrel roll is not gonna get him out of range 3, or it'll keep him in the range 3. But it's a no modded shot against. I think the math says that the red dice are better 2-on-2, but
there's also a very real possibility that Blue still has range. I mean, if you barrel roll left and forward,
right.
This is a really tough call by Tristan. I think he's over there just looking it all out. So he's going to go left forward and hopefully deny range from at least one of them, and then take his chances on 2 greens versus 2 reds.
Blue is not going to be blue's not going to have range on him. All right. So range 3.
And what's the statistical probability of this, I wonder? I'd be very interested in seeing this after the fact. Okay, so we're going to see if blue can generate a focus token for red.
Yep.
He's not spending the focus.
So that increases Marcel's chances right there. Up spec.
Very good decision. I mean, Justero could have taken 1 damage there, and this could have gone differently. Okay, we've got range.
Here we go, 2-on-2. Marcel has a focus.
Definitely not. Okay. One hit.
Doesn't matter.
So if Tristan rolls an evade here, he wins.
Yep.
Wow. The suspense is killing me.
Yeah. Here it is. Here it is. Check it. Here we go.
Oh,
Tristan
Canada. Sorry.
Tristan wins the game.
That was absolutely spectacular. Thank you so much again for having me on, mate.
No problem. This was great. And we will be back here with a top 4 match in a few minutes. Where did my mouse go? There it is.